My name is Keizo and I am 9 years old. Named after a samurai in my grandma's Japanese family.
And I'm Keizo's mom, and my name is Miki.
I like playing sports and hanging out with my family. I have a pet guinea pig and his name is Chewy. I have to clean the cage, feed him every day, and change his water every 2 days. I like guinea pigs because they are fluffy and they make poop noises.
Keizo and his family love to spend time together.
Our family likes to play games a lot, mostly board games, but we also like to play video games together.
I like playing video games with my dad and my brother. My favorite video games are Lego games and sports games, because I try to be my brother in them.
Keizo and his big brother like to borrow video games from their local library. Their parents have a rule that when the kids get a library card, they're responsible for the materials that they check out. One day, Keizo and his mom went to the library to return their games and books. When they arrived, they were surprised to discover that Keizo had failed to return the games, and they were very overdue.
So we went to the library together, and Keizo had pulled some other video games that he wanted to check out. And when we put his card in the slot, we had to see a librarian. And so we went there. I expected that there would probably be a fine, and usually it's about $10. After you reach $10, they won't let you check out materials anymore.
And the librarian said that I had a $60 fine, and I was freaked out.
That was quite a fine. That meant the games were overdue for a long period of time, and so I was just scrambling, like, what are we gonna do with that? Initially, I asked the librarian at the desk, is there any mercy? Is there any way the fine could be reduced? And she had to call another librarian, I guess who was a more senior librarian. And so while we were waiting for that librarian to come, I looked at Keizo and I said, we're gonna have to figure something out because that is quite serious.
I was getting really scared and nervous when the librarian had to go talk to the other librarian about my fine.
Even though he was scared, Keizo knew that in the Bible it says, "Here on earth you will have many trials and sorrows, but take heart, because I have overcome the world."
And so when the librarian came, I had Keizo actually explain the situation to the librarian and take responsibility for his mistake. And the librarian listened very patiently and was very kind and spoke directly to him and said, you do understand that when you check out materials, it is your responsibility to turn them back in. But the librarian offered grace and said, we'd be happy to reduce your fine in half. So instead of $60, it's gonna be $30.
I had to pay the fine with my allowance.
It's a big responsibility to check out books and video games from the library. Keizo made a mistake when he failed to take the games back when they were due. Isn't it great that God's love is so big that even when we make mistakes, He doesn't abandon us? God helped Keizo, and He will help you. When you do wrong, Jesus rescues.